Okay, here we go. And we're live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to World Love Week. I'm Ken Krell, your host, and together with Zor, and Zor, I can never pronounce your last name properly, we're having some technical issues, so I can't talk. Mute yourself for a minute, Zor. What happens is if he unmutes while I'm talking, it feedbacks everywhere. So I'm going to give you the quick introduction and a welcome to World Love Week. Then Zor will welcome you, and then we'll get rocking and rolling. And I will be muted while he speaks. Otherwise, all hell breaks loose. Hope you guys are having an amazing Valentine's Day wherever you are in the world. I'm coming to you from Sydney, Australia. Zor is in Hobart, Australia. We are completely on the same side of the world, but completely different places. And for those of you that are in North America at 4 a.m. Eastern time, 1 a.m. Pacific time, I'm so sorry. But we are a global event, and we'll be running all night long, our time, your time, every time until the 20th, full week of love and business all together. Zor, how you doing? I'm going to mute myself real quick. There you go.
I'm doing good, almost amazing, almost amazing. It's really good. I'm absolutely delighted to be here. I'm doing great. How are you?
So now I'm unmuted, now working out great, and we'll just spotlight me. This is going to be fantastic. I'm thrilled and happy to have all of you guys with us. And this is going to be a great week. So a couple of things about the week I want you to think about, and that is that number one, our entire intention is to talk with you about putting love back in your business, putting love back in your life, and not even not back in it, just adding it to if it hasn't been there enough. Because frankly, the more you love your clients, your collaborators, your cohorts, your suppliers, your consultants, anyone that you're working with, the more you bring love in and appreciate them, the more it's going to come back to you. And major companies such as Apple and Trader Joe's and Costco and Tom's Shoes and Enterprise Rent-A-Car and so many others are perfect testimony to the fact that when you care about your customer, when you care about the customer and client experience, you prosper. Enterprise is the #1 car rental agency on the planet. And they didn't get that way by being stupid. They didn't get that way by ripping off clients. They got that way by caring about them. Right now with Enterprise as an example, they take such great care that their ascension model for management is based upon customer satisfaction ratings, not on profitability, which is a great statement. They want people happy because when they're happy, then the company grows. And it comes down to that. So it's a really good place to be. And this week, we have some incredible speakers for you all week long. Over the next few hours, you'll be seeing a lot of recordings of our Opportunity-thon event, which was a fantastic opportunity for you to recognize what is available to you right now during this land of pandemic. Because while the world has been full of challenges, so many people have made it their best year ever of all time. And so with that said, there's so much that I want you to be able to take away with you so that way you can continue to grow, build, and enjoy your life. And certainly if money is a thing that is of concern, as it is to just about everybody of whatever income level you're at, the bottom line is that the happier you are with money, the happier you will also be with your personal life, with your health, with your family, with your business, and so on. So we want to really make sure that we're leveled up. So you're going to see a whole lot of opportunity here. And thank you for hitting the record button from some people on our team. You're going to see the beautiful bottom line of opportunity playing right out. And so what we just realized is that this segment, we're going to be doing again live team because we don't have a recording of it with the right opening since we didn't hit the record button at the right time. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce you once again to Zor, and Zor has a fantastic message. He's going to lead off with the first session, and I don't even remember what his title is, quite frankly. I don't even have his bio or his intro, but since he's my co-host and co-producer for this event, I will let him take the wheels, take the reins, and I leave you in good hands for the next segment. Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Zor.
Hooray! Thank you, Ken, for your warm introduction. My I'm absolutely delighted to be part of this event. You know, it has been a huge honor in helping Ken and the team in bringing this event back after 5 solid years. What motivated me? What motivated me to put my hand up and be part of this event is none other than the love I have for my people, you know, and my community, and being part of the group that is bringing light and healing to the world through, you know, through love and running heart-centered business. And that's what this event is about. And that's what I want to speak on today. Today, I want to speak on my big why, which is centered around the love I have for my people and my community. You see, sometimes we need a mission, a purpose, or much bigger than us to fuel us and to drive us when our fears and our ego get in the way. That's exactly the case for me, you know. Along with my colleague, I am driven by a mission, and to some extent, I consider it a calling, really, to bring solar to every house in every village in my motherland, South Sudan. That's where I'm from. So this grand mission is the only alarm I answer to every morning. You see, it was Tony Robbins who said the real joy comes from finding your true purpose and light and aligning it with everything that you do every single day. This mission of mine drive me every single morning, every single day, even when I come across, you know, the uncertainties and fears. And the reason it drives me is because the mission is much bigger than my fears. And how did I come here? How did I come to be so driven for this cause and start on this journey? Well, you see, every now and then we come across this moment which are so significant in our life, the moment which we call the defining moment. For some people, this moment might have come in form of, you know, finding their significant other or making a significant decision which ended up transforming their life for better or worse. Or like in many cases that I've heard of, it might have come in finding God or finding themselves and knowing their true self, or simply answering the question of who am I really, you know? Whatever those moments are, one thing is for sure, we seem to remember them for the rest of our life. For me, I've had 4 significant moments that got me where I am today. This moment, when I look back on them, led me to this stage, being here, talking to you. Here is the timeline for those 4 significant moments that got me on this mission. Number 1, the first significant moment was, you know, when I left South Sudan for greener pasture. I always have this disclaimer before I talk about this moment. My story, I always say my story is not entirely unique to me. I share the same story with many other men, many other children, many other women who have had to flee their home country in search for greener grass somewhere, in search for greener pasture somewhere abroad. The difference is in the road they took to get to wherever they need to go. See, so having said that, I was born in South Sudan in a small town called Panyao. And I spent only the first 10 years of my life in my homeland. And those 10 years, from the moment I was born, I knew nothing other than, you know, the sound of gunfire and the fact that we had to run time after time to go somewhere hide and somewhere where we could, somewhere where we would come back. And once the chaos have settled, you see, and that's the moment. And our search for greener grass, you know, led us to the border of our neighboring country, you know, Kenya, and eventually ended up in a refugee camp called Kakuma. And I must have been 10 years. I mean, you know, somewhere along there. I mean, who was counting, right? I must have been 10 years when we touched down at the border of Kenya. But the road leading to this moment, and being one of the lucky few who made it to a refugee camp, is the reason why this moment is the significant moment in my life. And so this lead me to the second significant moment in my life, which is the second significant moment was life itself in a refugee camp in Kenya. When we arrived in Kakuma, in a refugee camp in Kenya, the place was so dusty, so sweltering hot, and so mind-numbing, and nothing much could be really seen moving in a typical 40 degrees Celsius weather. And me, just like any other kid, many other kids who were in camp, one thing was common, one thing was certain: our energy could not be tamed, like we made the best of every single situation we encountered. We had no food. If we had no football, football is the world game and it was the common thing that we play. If we had no football to play with, there was no problem. We'll go and blow up a balloon and wrap a ripped clothes around it, and voila, we have a football. And that was it. That was our way of tuning into our energy, so that our mind could not go astray. We always find way. See, the memories I have of the camp are mixed, but overall, I consider them to be positive. Mainly positive because of two reasons. One, because this was the perspective I took. This was the state of mind that I adopt to see the best in all situations. And secondly, was because this period in my life made me the man I am today. The resilient, mental toughness, compassionate, loving, and above all, has given me the ability to look within for the answers and connect with the inner source and generate internal energy. So for some of my friends who always say, why are you so energetic? Well, voila, that's your answer. I draw my energy from within. Anyway, we spent 4 good years in a refugee camp before we got accepted to come to Australia. And this led me to the third significant moment in my life. The third significant moment was coming to Australia and adopting Australia as my second home. In 2007, we arrived in the city of Hobart, where I completed, my teenage years. Hobart is a small city on an island of Tasmania. If you know the map of Australia, that little island at the bottom, that's Hobart. That's where Tasmania is. I have been here now for almost 13 years. But here is the thing. What makes this moment a significant one is because of the opportunities I have been given to create a better life for myself, for my family, and for my people. And also being here and be able to learn the other dimension of life had helped me add another layer of already, what I already consider an already developing character of mine. But that's the thing. But the thing is, after being away for so long, after being away from where I was born for that long time, it is easy to forget, the time I spent in Kenya, add to the time I spent in Australia, easily add up to 17 years away. And after that long, it can be hard sometimes to put things into perspective. Especially, if you are now in a place where life is flowing smooth. And I must say, that's the case for me. My life is well off here in Australia, and I have got my basic need met. And I consider myself privileged in a way, to be honest. And at times, I've taken it for granted. And when I do remember my humbling root, I am overfilled with the sense of gratitude. And so this led me to my final moment my significant moment. The fourth significant moment was coming home, returning home to South Sudan for the first time in 17 years. But before I tell you what it was like to return home after 17 years, let me tell you the catalyst of my homecoming. What gave me a huge desire to actually push and say, okay, I gotta do it. See, in 2016, I went to Mexico as an exchange student abroad in my second year of my studies. And going to Mexico was supposed to be a self-discovery journey. But I remember how terrible I felt. And the reason I felt that terrible was because I felt guilty for not having visited my country, not having visited my sibling in South Sudan. Even though it was for education purpose, I couldn't shake off the guilt. And I remember feeling this strong need to be back in South Sudan. And it was understandable in a way, because I hadn't seen my sibling and my mother, my father, and all of that for that long. So it made sense. So after I came back from Mexico in 2017, I said to myself, I am going to finish my studies. And the first thing I will do is get a ticket to South Sudan. And that is exactly what I did. In early 2019 and late 2020, early 2019, late 2020, I visited my family and my community. The community I was raised in for the first time in 17 years. Here I was, 17 years later. A lot has changed and a lot hasn't changed. My people, my family, my community were so vibrant as ever, and they welcomed us with so much joy and peace and celebration and love. And it was good. It was really amazing to be welcomed back this way. It was good to see this. Our families went extra mile and kill cow and goat. That's what we do in a celebratory manner. And I arrived at around midday, and I went on about my day. And come 6 p.m., boom, the sun went up, and that was it. We were in the dark for the rest of the night. And this was the story I was living in for the rest of the time I was there. The 2 good months, I remember how unbearable it was being in the dark once the light goes off and having to, use firewood and so forth. And I remember complaining about this every single day, but this is the life this is the norm that my family and my community in this part of in this remote area of South Sudan, this is their everyday life. So fast forward, I came back to Australia, and one question bugged me, the question of what can I do where I am with what I have to give back to my people and to give back to my community in this remote location of South Sudan. My observation when I was there tell me a lot of things. He told me there is so much I can do, there is so much I can teach, there is so much I can give, but I must start somewhere. And the first thing that came into my mind was to bring solar to the community, to bring solar to my community and expand to all the other smaller village and neighboring villages, communities around there. And so that's how the idea of setting up a foundation came about. The Solar for South Sudan Foundation. At the moment, we are setting up the logistic of it and we will have it fully running soon. So I call on to you, the amazing people of the world, to adopt a village, to adopt a community today. So if this is if this resonates with you, send your interest if you want to be part of this mission. Let's change the world one village at a time. Solar for South Sudan is a foundation whose mission is to bring solar to every household in remote village in South Sudan. I cannot wait to see you and being part of this mission and accomplish great things together with me along the way. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I cannot, as a host and as a co-producer of this event, I see there's so much that we are going to do during this week. I am looking forward to hosting more sessions with you all, and that's where I am at the moment. Ken, are we tracking? All right, Ken is on mute. So
I am, and I'm doing some technical things because you finished before I expected you to finish by about 10 minutes. So we're going to dance for a little bit, boys and girls. So Zor, and I got to hear part of the story, frankly, because I was busy just taking care of the next series of speakers that are coming on board. So I'm going to be probably asking something that you may have already talked about, but let's talk about the creativity and how you plan on actually bringing solar into South Sudan. What's your vision? What's your plans? Because I've got to go get back to tech support right now to manage the balance of our tech details. So you get on that, and I'll be right back.
I got you. Copy that. So what we are planning to do with the event is like I said earlier, our villages, our communities are relying on sunlight, and all the businesses function during the day, and because this is the remote part where I am from, and when the sun goes up, most of the thing goes up. My plan, my big grand vision is to start small. If we start small, I have other colleagues that are going to help from South Sudan as well, that are going to help in making all of this happen. But what we have planned is to start, with the community center. We're gonna provide a community center with the basic solar, like say set up a rooftop and we're gonna get a place, set up a sort of like a community size solar. The basic of it, get a solar. We're gonna have to assess the area first. So set up the panels, get the battery, and get all of that as a test case, something small, and see how it will work. Once that work and is off running, then we'll dive into expanding more. That's the plan at the moment, Ken. While Ken is doing that, I thought I should share a bit of the celebration that how I was welcomed when I had arrived. Hang on.
Yeah, tell the story. Tell everybody about what it's like to be in South Sudan. And I got to stop because you're having feedback. Zor, you're muted. You need to unmute.
Oh, what I was gonna do, Ken, was to share a little bit of clip of when I was there, when we arrived for the first time. So let me share that with everyone. Okay. So what I'm about to share here was a clip of when I was getting a bus from one of the big city to my actual place. So like from the bus all the way, and what the life is like. So it's a long clip, but I'm only gonna show you the part that we were welcome. So here we go. I'm coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home. Let the rain wash away all the pain of yesterday. I know my kingdom awaits, and they've forgiven my mistakes. I'm coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming. I never felt so strong. Back feeling like there's nothing that I can't try. And if you with me, put your hands high. Your love's like before. This means for you, put your hands high. Dreams for you. I hate tears in my tracks. I hate that song. I always feel like they're talking to me when it comes on. Another day, another dawn. Another Keisha, nice to meet you. Get the mask out. What am I supposed to do when the club lights come on? It's easy to be. So that was a little bit of a clip from when we arrived, and our family greeted us with so much joy. So that, yeah, so the place I'm in is South Sudan. Is all sort of places. It's all sort of, it has all sort of weather, so all sort of culture, all sort of different things. What stood to me out the most was the fact that um, the four different weathers that we get during during um, during the year. When I was there, was around when the summer was about to start, right? And that's why you could see it was drying off a little bit, because we get flood season and all of that. So my plan is to one of those houses, home. We go from home to home, but before that, before serving home and serving everyone else, there's like a community center, like a marketplace where the business everyday thing goes on. We're gonna set up there. So that's the plan, really. I hope that gives you a little bit of insight of what it is like, and what we are trying to change, and what is to come when all of this come into place. We got 3 minutes before the next speaker jump on. Ken, do you have any question that you would like to ask?
Okay. I was muted. You're muted now. Okay, great. No, I can't ask any questions because I've been trying to take care of a tech issue that is biting us in the butt right now. Unfortunately, I've got no questions to ask at all, which is always lovely along the way. And I can't wait to actually watch the videos that we're dealing with. Here's the thing, you guys, when we go live, it is really fascinating when you're doing tech yourself, which I recommend that you never do. But in this case, we are. This event, I will tell you, the backdrop of this event is that we put it together in less than about a week. While we did World Love Week for the first time 6 years ago, that event took months to prepare for. This event we put together literally in days. So we have a few things that we're still managing along the way, which are quite exciting. And the reason why we did this so quickly, even though I said I would never do anything like this ever again, was that Zor is a member of one of my high-end coaching programs. And we were talking, and Zor got into his mission about solar and how he wanted to do something, and he wanted to do something now. And he was just very, very persuasive, at which point I was in a moment of incredible, I almost would say insanity. And I said, Valentine's is coming up next week. We could just do World Love Week again. And then it grew, and it grew, and it grew. And in any event, that's where we are right now. We have an event, and we're still building the plane as we fly it. So in just a couple of seconds, we're going to segue over to our first speaker, who is someone that maybe you know and love already. His name is Les Brown, and he's pretty incredible. Les is one of the world's most revered motivational speakers on the planet. He will be with us live later on this week. But in the meantime, I'm going to let you watch a recording of Les when he appeared at OpportunityThon just a few months back. He is incredible. And in just a couple moments, he will appear on your screen. So don't go anywhere. We're going to end this stream because the new stream starts in just a couple of seconds. So Zor, I will see you later. And we're going to end the stream right now. And in just a couple of moments, we'll see the incredible Les Brown.